Hey, Dusty Three Strings here. Welcome back to the shop. Today I want to talk about boxes. Anytime you can pick you up a nice pretty cigar box, there's always some kind of magic inside these things. But I want to go a few things first. Not every box is created equal. Some boxes are tiny. Now, that don't mean you can't do something with it, but a little bit difficult to make a guitar out of. Now you can do some that are ukulele size, but you have little boxes like this that have all this profile, and putting a neck on that is difficult. It can be done, but if we're just starting, we want to pick a box that's about this size. Nice thickness, good and wide, and pretty tall. It just makes the process easier. It's a whole lot easier to get your bridge saddle in place and intonate it. Intonation is very, very, very critical on these things. There's bunches and bunches of different sizes. This will make a great guitar. Let's see. Grab my little ruler right here. This is, in English speak, 20 millimeters. In American speak, it's 7 3/4 inches long, or wide. Almost 10 inches long, and about 2 inches thick. That is almost perfect size for a cigar box guitar. You see here, I've got this black Cohiba box. I've already cut out for the end. Got to square all that up, straighten it up. Got some stuff stuck away in there. Oh, another note. When you go to putting your boxes together, if you already know what you want, like the tuners, kind of pickups you're going to do, your jack, all this. I got a piezo here. Just stick it in the box. It won't get lost. It's right there. I got this little Macanudo. Now, this will make a good ukulele. It's got a good depth. It's got a fairly good width across here, and you can get your hand in there and actually strum. There's a couple of those. See, this is basically the same size. It's just thicker. That'll make a good box. Let's see. Where's it? Where we open up? Right here. There's a bunch of paper in there. But now, another note. These little boxes like this, they are made out of wood, a lot of them. So like this Arturo box. This Arturo box is made out of wood. You can hear the resonance in it. That's just slappy. But a lot of times, these boxes are weak in the joints. So inside your corners here, you'll want to put some little pieces. Get it where you can see it. Put some pieces in there to stand up in the corners. Just glue those in. And then a lot of folks will screw into those little pieces in the corners to hold the lid down. And it honestly keeps the echo from happening. Once you get that neck in there and then tighten down on the corners, it'll keep the rattle out of it. So that's a good size box. This is a good size box. This is a decent size box. Like I said, it's nice and thick. Got plenty of room to move your hand. I can get a bridge in here deeply enough to intonate it, because you'll have to move your saddle and your bridge back and forth. Now, one of the best boxes, other than this Padron right here, that is a very good box to use. I'll take that off of there. That's a good box. And you can do these things any way you want to. You see, I just got these little sound holes there. This big Cohiba box right here, that's a nice one. Needs to be tuned. Right now, it's just wall art. But here's another Arturo box, and I'm not done with it. I'm done putting it together, but I still haven't figured out what I'm going to do as far as a sound hole. I don't know. You can hear it, and that's with no sound hole. So imagine what it's going to sound like when I open it up and let it vibrate and actually get to hear what it does. Now, one of the best boxes that you can come across, in my opinion, is a brick house. It's got the right size, long ways, width ways, and it's nice and thick. It's got a good, deep resonance to it. I love those things. You end up with some boxes like this. This is large. It's got a large face on it. You could do whatever you want to here. But look how tiny, tiny, tiny that is. That's tiny, tiny. How wide is that thing? It is 1 5/8 inches wide. That is a little bit tiny. So see, you're going to be putting a neck in here. It'll work. But it is super tight. You can make it happen. But these are just a few examples of boxes. I've got 1,000 more. I don't know if you can see all that. That's a whole stack of cigar boxes right there. These little boxes right here, like this, if you get them, especially if you get them for free, don't throw them away. Keep them, because there are a lot of kits that you can buy that you can actually put speakers and hardware in here and make this thing an amplifier. And they make great little amplifiers. Now you can get all that from CB Giddy. Just look them up online. That's where I get my piezo pickups. That's where I get my fret wire. That's where I get my strings, because I got them in bulk and I can get whatever I want whenever I want. And they're really easy to deal with. You put in an order, you have it in a week. Next thing I want to talk about is how you want to start. Okay, so when you get your box, I would suggest getting a box like this, for the simple fact that it is just a simple cover. Just a simple lid. Now, there's some folks on the YouTubes here. Dale Puckett's one of them. I love his work. But he actually cuts the lid off so he can fit it to his neck. He can come in here and put his neck in and fit it to that. And then just, like I said, put the little corner pieces in, the corner braces inside each corner, and screw it shut. And then you don't even have to worry about it being taped on there or the paper being gone. But one of the most difficult things you have to look for, this is a beautiful box, and if it was the right size, I'd probably use it anyways. But that detail right there, when you go to run your neck through there, that is going to be tricky, because you want this, you want the neck itself to be up here so your fretboard can sit. If it's not at least even with it, you want it to be a little bit above. I like mine a little bit above. And that angle right there is a little bit deep, but I always put an angle, a back angle on my necks. That way, when you get to the end of your neck, you have your neck running this way, and that neck will sit through that box kind of like this. So your bridge up here, you'll have plenty of string height, and by the time it gets to the end of your neck at the nut, you can actually play it with your fingers. Now, this is not a necessity. That's just preference. I like this. I like to be able to use my fingers, or you can use a slide. Now, when I say slide, that's a piece of copper water pipe from the big box store. I ain't gonna tell you which one, but you can still slide with this. Okay. Not the best rendition, but you get it. Now, this one I made for my daughter, just because she likes to ask for things. That's way out of tune. But you can see the string height on this thing is way up there. All you can do with that one is slide. That's all you can do with that guitar, is slide. You can't, it's too far off the fretboard. Not to mention the fact that it doesn't have a fretboard. It's just the neck. All right, so that's what we got for today. I just wanted to give you a little introduction to the boxes and a couple of little things you might run into when you go to put these things together. If you got a place that you can get cigar boxes for free, by all means get all that you can get. You don't really want paper boxes. Paper boxes aren't going to do you a whole lot of good. They're usually not in the greatest condition, and it's hard to keep them from just falling apart. But any kind of wood box, if you can come across Brick House, if you can come across the Arturo boxes, you're going to be in good company, and they're easy to deal with. But just for a learning curve, this is a Brick House, but you see it's inset here. So I'm going to have to work with this to get my neck up and this side. If you only want to work with one side to get you started, get you a box like this. It's just got a simple lid, and all you got to do is cut into the side, and you'll be on your way. You won't have to worry about cutting all this away and getting into the side. You'll be ready to go in 5 minutes. And a lot of the times when you get boxes like this, I have saws to cut everything I need to cut. I mean, I do all kind of cutting with everything, but these are all hand saws. I do have power tools, but it's a whole lot easier just to cut it with a hand saw and be done with it. You can get coping saws to cut with. You can do it with a hacksaw if you had to. But I'm going to tell you, these boxes here, you can cut with a serrated kitchen knife. So if that's all you got, use it. It'll happen. All right, well, that's all I got for this time. Come on back, and we'll get on the next time. Stay tuned. Bye.